Ever since last Wednesday, but a week ago, I really was waiting to do a tutorial because I really wanted to share some stuff with you guys. I took my pictures first, so if I start crying, I guess that's okay. Not that I want to be crying, but my menopause had me to an anxiety level I've never been before. Ginseng was helping, but when I was encountering the issues with the managing company, I guess, for the property, I told you last time I got another notice, and I started asking around, and no one else had gotten a second notice, and I'm the only one who complied with the first one. I had a bunch of cardboard boxes out there that I was going to use to ship. They got ruined by the rain anyway. I think I told you, and I told my husband to throw them out, and he forgot, and so we got a notice. Fine, we threw them all out. I mean, I had a good 20 boxes out there. We threw them out. Other than that, I've got storage boxes that I keep nice and neat out there, and that's it, and a chair to sit. Now, I don't have patio furniture. I can't afford patio furniture. I don't think we have room for patio furniture out there. But those containers also serve as our patio furniture. If we're going to eat out there, we put our food there. We're reading, we put it, whatever. If my nieces and nephew come, they use it when I give them stuff to color with, crafts or whatever. So that is my patio furniture, and I keep it nice and neat. So I started going around, and I took pictures, and nobody has complied. They've got toys out there, garbage out there, brooms out there. So I asked at least 2 of my neighbors, did you ever get a second notice? And they said no. So obviously I was upset because I don't want this to go on my record. I was starting to feel like I was being harassed. My nerves were on end, and I went to the office and I said, look, this is a mistake. The stuff that it says I have cardboard boxes, I do not. I complied the first time. It says I have aluminum foil. What? And it said they had signs out there. I said, look, I really believe this was probably meant for somebody else, and it was accidentally put on my thing. And I showed them pictures. Well, they started nitpicking at my pictures, and I'm telling you, I mean, compared to everybody else, I said, look at my neighbors, don't look at me. They didn't receive a second notice, and I did. So I really think this was to somebody else. And then there's a new manager. The new office manager was there, and I don't know if it's that the person I was talking to knew she was listening or what, but he said, well, I just like this really, though, the storage boxes shouldn't be there. I see one here that they were colored instead of a neutral color. It was, I have purple or red, and you really need to, there's not supposed to be anything there but patio furniture. I'm like, this is like my patio furniture. I started recording our conversation too. I cut off halfway through, but at least I got a good amount of what I needed. And they were nitpicking about my neat and barely noticeable. When you pass by, you barely see anything. You barely see anything. So I said, well, I'll work with that. Because I have no room in my apartment. Because they said that this apartment was 1,200 square feet. And my other apartment was 1,200 square feet. And trust me, I had way more room in that other apartment. So I think part of it is a lie. And part of it is that the patio's bigger. So maybe that's where that extra... So I have no room. So I said, well, I'll work with it and whatever. But I was really furious because no one else got a second notice. And then the manager said, well, it was human error. And at that point was when it cut off. Human error. So I'm paying for human error, I'm the only one who complied the first time, and I'm paying for human error. And she said, I said, why did they come all the way to the back of the building, back of the property? I'm at the very end to the furthest part of the property to just put one notice up, and you don't put notices on anyone else's up who hasn't complied? Oh, they just haven't got around to it. I said, that didn't fly with me. But I just say, I'm going to work on, taking care of the patio. And I got halfway through because I have not been able to breathe. I am doing something every day, including weekends. I am so burned out that I just want to cry from how tired I am. But I came home with such an anxiety, like I was going to explode. I'm telling you, I was like ready to start calling lawyers and I was just like so mad because I'm sorry, that's considered harassment. And if they put a third, and I also recently asked again because now we're like 2 weeks later, no one has gotten a second notice. So I didn't finish out there. I'm anxious to finish it. I just don't have time. But I do want to get to it. I'm trying to make it work to my advantage. Maybe I could rearrange stuff, and it'll be more efficient. Whatever. And thank God I haven't gotten a third notice because, that's harassment. I'm sorry, bottom line harassment. Nobody here has even gotten a second one. But anyway, I came home with such an anxiety on me. Ready to have a nervous breakdown. I've never felt such anxiety in my life. My mom was telling me go to the vitamin shop. There's a vitamin shop down the road. I didn't even know was there. I went and I got the cheapest thing I could find because I only had a certain amount of money left in my bank account, and those vitamin places could be expensive. And so she's showing me the $35. I said I don't even have $35 in my account, so I got the one for $15. Looking up the ingredients at home, I don't see how most of them. I don't see how they even help with menopause, but whatever. I said let me give it a try. It did say if you have liver problems, you shouldn't take it. But I was desperate. I was desperate because I never felt like my nerves were going to explode out of my skin. I quite honestly, I had stopped going to church. I only visit once in a while. I'm tired. I've never experienced the Lord like I did when we were in New York. And I think I've said this before. I think people in New York have so many problems that they truly, truly need the Lord and search for Him with all their hearts. And I experienced God on a physical, emotional level, I should say, spiritual level. That's probably the right, on a spiritual level in New York like I've never, ever, anywhere else. Never found something like that again. And quite honestly, I was so tired. I just didn't want to go to church anymore. I'm like, I'm not... just nowhere that I've been in the past, 20 years since I've lived in New York, almost. Yeah, I think 20 years. Have I experienced that? But I just say, you know what? I'm going to go. I just decided, just go. And they prayed over me. And, with the sermon and the prayer, I just wanted to pray over my physical ailments. But the preacher was also talking about, the way God works, and that really, really helped me a lot. And when I got home, my neighbor, we were discussing because we're both upset about this, garbage thing, and I told her I was feeling like I feel like my nerves are literally gonna explode right out of my skin. And then she prayed for me, and it just alleviated so much of my anxiety. And I started taking the pills too, so I don't know if that helped as well. They don't really seem to be bothering my liver too much. And that just alleviated a lot. Because I was like thinking the worst, that I'm going to get kicked out for, my rent is paid on time. I was thinking, is this going to be a cause because of their human error? I'm going to get, kicked out, and because of whatever differences we're having. And just all of that anxiety just left me, thank God. And I went to my liver appointment, and she said that my liver, thank God, was fine. Other than it's made up of 25% fat. She says it's like marble. I was like, can you cut it out, so that I could process my pills better. Maybe I could get back on metformin and lose weight. Which I lost about 11 pounds, by the way. I don't even think I had cheated in over a month. I cheated on Father's Day, though. Not even for Mother's Day did I cheat. I lost like 11 pounds. But she says no, because it's marbleized throughout your liver. But she said that no cancer, no nothing, everything was good except for that one thing. And she said I should come back every year and, just get it tested or whatever, just to make sure. So, that was good news. I still had to see the dermatologist about the lump that was growing on my chest. I had looked it up online. about the pain I was having in my esophagus, and it, it said that it could be cancer. I don't know what happened. I had this horrible pain in my throat, like a razor blades were in my throat. They said it could be polyps. So I talked to my liver doctor, because esophagus is for your gastroenterologist. So I called my liver doctor, and she said, well, if the pain went away after a few days, I thought maybe I swallowed something, because sometimes when I do drink my tea, when I'm down to the bottom of my my water bottle, sometimes I'll open it up and drink. And I hadn't gone to my store, but I was at a different store, and they were smaller chunks of the wood. I'm thinking I might have swallowed something and cut myself down. So she says, if it happens again, then we need to check it out. I think they put you to sleep, and they go in with a camera down your throat. It's hot now, and the fan keeps blowing my hair in my face. So that was that. But I made an appointment for the ENT, and I made an appointment with the dermatologist. And last Tuesday, I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know why I was reminded of something that happened to me like 20 years ago when I was in Hawaii, or maybe 25 years ago, was that I was just sitting on a beach. I really believe that God was reminding me of this because of what I have to say after. I was on a beach, and I heard a whistle in the distance, and I was just enjoying the beach, and it was pretty strong waves, and they kept pushing me, and I was like, wow, these waves are really pushing me, but I'm not thinking how far it's pushing me. And you're not supposed to go past the rocks, because I think that's like a danger point where you could get carried out to sea. I'm just enjoying the beautiful, beautiful sunshine, and I keep hearing a whistle and a whistle. I keep hearing people yelling, and I really couldn't hear what they were saying, and before I knew it, I was past the rocks. And I may have been under 200 pounds, but I was never athletic, and I was swimming for my life to get back, and those winds were pushing, and I'm pushing against the waves. I mean, just pushing and pushing and pushing, and my heart pumping, out of shape body. I think I may have been 150 or 180. I'm not sure what I was. It might have been 180, because my daughter was only 2 years old, and I was pushing and pushing and swimming till I finally got to safety. They were trying to warn me. It was the lifeguard whistling, and the people were trying to warn me that the waves were carrying me out, and I'm in La La Land. But I made it back to safety, pushing against those waves, pushing and pushing and swimming. And then I remembered when I was 5 years old, maybe, I was at Coney Island Beach, and I was a little girl, and I get these, teenagers were playing, they're running around, and they pushed me below the water, and I was, by the sand, but since I was little, I went under the water, and the waves pushed me, and I don't even know how to swim, really. I'm only 5, right? And I'm just with all my might pushing to get above the water level, but I was little, and I'm trying, and I can't get above the water, and I can't breathe, and I'm trying, and I can't get above the water, and I got so tired that I finally gave up. And as soon as I gave up, a wave pushed me right back onto the sand. And it just made me remember that, and I believe that taught me never to give up. That's what I learned. Don't give up, because in your last breath you could finally make it, and thank God, because I would have been dead at 5 years old. And I remembered that, and I really believe that God helped me to remember those things. And I'm like, why God, why are you trying to make me remember these things? It was encouraging. I felt like God was trying to tell me, he's with me in my hard times, and he helps me to get through and fight through. And the next day I went to my skin doctor, and I'm thinking it's a cyst, because I had 2 on my face. I put pimple cream and they went away. But this was, it was itching, it was hurting, it was growing. The more I put pimple cream, the more it irritated and itched and burned. And she says to me, that's cancer. I mean, I was full of the peace of God, I tell you, but my face showed how worried I was. I'm like, what? You know, last year I had made sure I had everything tested, blood and everything. And all of a sudden, what? I usually, you know, try to cover my face, sunscreen on my face, sunscreen on my eyes, but I know that I forget to put sunscreen on my chest. She says, let me look over your body. And she started lifting my dress, and she says, you have something on your back. She took a picture of me. It was shaped like a raisin. I was like, you know, I could blame the front on not putting sunscreen. But why am I getting it on my back? It's not exposed to the sun. And now I'm worried. Now I'm worried. So she took the biopsy of my chest, removed the raisin off my back, and she said, that's cancer. But I want to reassure you that there's nothing to worry about. You know, you noticed the one in your chest a month ago. You know, because by the time I thought it was a cyst, about a week later I realized it wasn't. It was growing. Made the appointment, and I got, you know, the closest appointment I could. And so she says it's been a month, and I was like, can't you just remove the whole lump? She says, I really want to do a biopsy first. She says her partner is the one who that she whatever removes them, or they do it in such a way as trying not to leave a scar, and so on and so forth. And she said, if you don't hear from us by next week, please call us so that we can make an appointment, tell you what the biopsy said, remove it. She took a good shot. She took the top layer off, actually. Numbed me up. About 4 or 5 hours later, once that you know, the pain injection, whatever, wore off. Oh my God, it's stinging so bad, because I mean, she just took a chunk out of your skin, you know. I was like, what? Why? What? I feel like God reminded me of those things that happened to me when I was a child and when I was a young adult, to say I've been with you, you know, and I'm going to continue to be with you. So my stomach was, I guess the acid was just building up in my stomach, and I was in pain for days. I guess, you know, from the stress of it, and it was horrible pain. And I called my sister because she knew someone who had skin cancer, and I wanted to ask her what she knew about it. You know, I wanted to ask her, what do you know about this? And she said, you know, there's different kinds of skin cancers. And basically, you know, she told me how they remove it all and how you need to be checked often. But the person who had it is fine now, you know. So, you know, the raisin on the back, because what really had me worried is, what was the reason for the one on my back? I knew that I could just try to remember to put sunscreen. I always lotion up my chest, but I don't put sunscreen on my chest. I don't even know why. Maybe I thought, I don't know, the sun wouldn't touch it. I don't know. And she, you know, she says that you just have to be checked off. She said the raisin on the back, that happens to someone she knows often, and it's nothing, you know, it's benign, and you just have to have it removed. That's it, you know. And that, I mean, I'm just gonna have to have my husband check my back every couple of months, you know. So she made me feel so much better, my sister. You know, it's like probably nothing, like she said. You know, the doctor's like, you know, she does, you know, she said, I'm not gonna need chemo or nothing like that, just gonna have to have it removed. My sister said, you know, chemo is when it's like really deep, or when they can't get it out or whatever. And you could feel, I could feel it's still healing, and I can feel around it that it's still hard. I could still feel the part that's under the skin and hard. So that really needs to be all taken out. And I looked it up, because I couldn't believe that it was cancer. It's like, what? And yeah, it's cancer. It's just a question of, is it benign or not, and how to remove it. Because I think she said there's like all different methods, like a couple, I think, of different ways to remove it. I was like, what? I'm trying so hard to keep a positive attitude, you know, because, you know, I keep thinking, you know, maybe skin cancer is like the least of the cancers. It's on the skin. It can be removed. It's not like it's organs, you know, and it's on my organs and I need to remove my organs. It shouldn't kill me since we found it right away. And, you know, I just keep trying to have a positive attitude that, you know, it's not a big deal. So I keep telling myself it's not a big deal. They're gonna remove it. I wish you just took the whole chunk out then, but it's not. I keep telling myself it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I caught it, you know, or at least I saw it within a month, you know, and I'm just hoping that it's not any deeper, you know, than what I can feel. And it's a quick fix. And then I went to go see my ENT, and the reason why I can't sing anymore, the reason why I've been hoarse, is because I have a polyp in my throat, which is a growth in your throat. And she says, well, it doesn't look like cancer. I want you to try an antacid, which I'm questioning if I should take, because if I take Tums or if I take any other antacid, I'm usually okay. Why do I need a prescription strength one? And she says that, because I put that I do get heartburn, but not often. And she says that our heartburn will aggravate it. She told me to come back in 2 months. She said most likely it'll just have to be removed. And she said, you can't sing, you can't project, you can't, you know. She asked me, do you sing? I said, I used to a long time ago. Do you use your voice a lot? Not really. I mean, I'm home. I'm on the phone a lot because I need to make appointments and follow up and, you know, order meds, but not really, you know. So, you know, I don't know if I did swallow something that cut me on the way down, but the pain has been here probably for a year. I've had a pain here, and I went to an ENT last year, and he's an idiot, I'm sorry to say. He didn't look down there, which he should have. So I'm thinking if it wasn't something that I swallowed, then I might have had this for a while, because I haven't been able to sing. I thought it was allergies, and I always had this hope that one day I could get get these allergies corrected and I can sing again. And she's telling me I can't sing. You know, that's what it aggravates it. You know, she said it's common. One of the things that gets me down the most is the singing. Even if I couldn't sing the way I did before, I could falsetto, I could still sing, I could, you know, worship, I could just sing, and singing makes me happy, and I can't sing anymore. I don't know. I haven't gotten the prescription yet. I think I probably will, because, you know, I told her Tums work. I don't know why. I feel like instead of giving me something to soothe the throat, you're gonna give me an antacid. I don't know. So yeah, I've been dying to talk about this since a week ago, and then I'm glad I didn't, because then Monday I got that other news, and you know, everything's been okay so far. Thank God I haven't been bothered anymore about my patio. I just thank God for that huge weight off my back, but you know, I just really hope I'm not prone to the skin cancer thing. I mean, I live in one of the harsher climates in the United States of the sun. It's like, my goodness, it's like brutal, the sun here. I'm just, gonna remember to put, sunscreen on my chest too. Have my husband check my back, and I don't, hopefully they can remove the polyp. They'll remove the thing on my chest, remove the polyp, and everything will be okay. I'm hoping I'm not prone to this polyp thingy. Like I said, she said it didn't look like cancer. Because I know I read that it could be. So, that's the story with me. Just keep me in your prayers. Just keep me in your prayers. And, I have people telling me their positive thoughts and good prayers and whatnot. So, hopefully everything's going to be okay. So yeah, just sorry that I couldn't do a video last week. I had 2 appointments every day, I kid you not, and then my body is hurting so bad right now. We went to a small museum. It was only 6 rooms with long corridors, and I didn't, it wasn't that bad. It was a little bit tiring, but not that bad. But I felt it the next day, and like I said, even on weekends I'm out, visiting I had to visit my aunt, who was just, my husband's aunt was just diagnosed with schizophrenia, and she don't want to take her pills, and and then I've been going to church again. This past week was Father's Day. We went to the beach. We just, a very short walk. We went to Rita's Ice, walked across the street. It was a very, very small little beach, because usually you have to pay for parking, but since I was at Rita's Ice, I just took advantage, just went across, and it was like, you're not even supposed to be on that beach type of thing, like you're not supposed to get into the water. Very, like, you could go on the sand, very small. And I don't know if it was on a hill, if it was that it was on a hill, but then I walked back, and I was, my hips have been in so much pain from the little bit of walking that I was doing. So I'm frustrated about that. I have not had a summer vacation. I was thinking maybe I could go to the pool. It's already almost the end of June, and I've been out every single day, driving to this appointment, that appointment, therapy, psychiatrist, chiropractor, medications, my doctor's appointments, just on, and I feel like I've not had a vacation, and I am so tired and burned out. And I still need to make some phone calls. That's gonna wait till Friday. Tomorrow I have more appointments, so I feel like I had no vacation at all. In August, school starts again. We're at the end of June. I am just exhausted to the max. So still have to see the plastic surgeon. Still have to see the new urologist. I found another urologist. So just so exhausted. So on top of that, probably gonna have to have this removed. I don't know what's gonna, polyps is for 2 months, but I'm trying to avoid the surgery for my kidneys, but I don't know what's gonna happen with that either. Can't drink anything that's gonna burn my throat, and that apple cider vinegar burns a little bit, and that's what I was using for my kidneys, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know that I am so tired and burned out. So anyway, just keep me in your prayers, and hopefully next week I will do, like I said, my tablecloth that inspired me. Hopefully I'll do that one. So okay, I love you all, and hopefully I will see you next week. Mwah.